Hey, this is Rocket Brain Surgeon. Today we're looking at the FV215B. We're following around Oni-chan in this Tier 10 UK Heavy, characterized by okay mobility, a decently accurate and fast-aiming gun, that terrible rear-mounted turret, and not a lot of armor to speak of. You can see the outcropping of rock and debris in front of him. This is going to hide the lower plate of the tank, and the upper plate of the tank, while not incredibly strong, it does have some angles to it, and it's effective to roughly 280 to 300 penetration. So some of the larger caliber shells and some of the larger penetration are going to go right through it, but it does offer some protection. The big draw of the tank is the gun. The 215 has the best accuracy at .33 out of all the Tier 10 heavies, the best aim time at 1.7 seconds, and very good damage per minute, only bested by the T57. The ammo types are a definite positive to the tank. Instead of heat, you get APCR. Instead of HE, you get HESH. Small bonus. However, there's only 35 shells in the tank, which is somewhat poor because the tank can throw shells so quickly that you're going to have ammo problems now and then in longer games. The gun depression is workable at 7 degrees. The alpha at 400 is one of the more unspectacular things, especially with the prevalence of autoloaders and high alpha tank destroyers. But the biggest annoyance has to be that rear-mounted turret. Now, we're showing the reverse angling that can happen with the rear-mounted turret, and you would think that would be a pro to the tank, that you could offer very unfavorable angles to the enemy and have it bounce off. The problem is the side armor is 50 millimeters thick in most places, so that E3 sitting across from us is mounting a 155 millimeter gun, which means it's 3 times overmatch, which means it's going to penetrate if it even makes contact anywhere on the side of the tank. Oh, and almost everything at Tier 10 that you're going to square off against frontally has a 122 or bigger caliber gun. So basically the only redeeming feature of a rear-mounted turret, the ability to reverse angle around corners, is not an advantage because the side armor is just too thin. The front armor is vulnerable to anything sporting high penetration, which means your average run-of-the-mill Tier 10 tank destroyer, or anybody who just wanted to load premium ammo for whatever reason. The gun, and the tank in general, is just too fair, for lack of a better word. It doesn't have ridiculous armor to abuse, it doesn't have camo or mobility, it doesn't have alpha. The gun doesn't have an autoloader, it has the lowest alpha in Tier 10. There's just nothing about the tank that you can leverage over your enemies that's going to give you an advantage in a lot of situations. So the 215 is just kind of forced to hang in the back. It doesn't have the armor to withstand shots, it doesn't have the camo to hide from shots, and it doesn't have alpha or an autoloader to cycle out the opponent before they get you. So when you're playing this tank, it's like, why am I not playing literally anything else? If you take any one of the Tier 10 mediums, you're going to get all those advantages like mobility and damage per minute, and you're going to get 400 alpha, and you're going to get a lot of other advantages like camouflage or better gun depression. But it's not the worst ever. The 215 is a very comfortable tank. The gun is, you basically just left click on things. The great ammo choices, it has 10 meters more view range than other tanks, so you're not going to be facing invisible tanks as much. The mobility is okay to where you're going to get in position relatively quickly. If you get in situations where you need to fire constantly, the tank can do that too. So, I mean, it's not like it's completely abysmal, it just doesn't push the envelope of what is possible. Frankly, I don't have anything else to say about the plain Jane vanilla tank. Oni-chan wrote up a review, link is in the comments. Hope you enjoyed, happy hunting.